Yeah. So hello, Brian and Marius. Sorry if I mispronounce your names. Just tell me. I'm autistic, so So I think probably we start with Brian because Brian actually did a lot. He opened GitHub account, and to be honest, I think less than a half of university students who finish IT, who graduate with degrees, most of them, they don't have GitHub accounts. At least that's what my friends who work in JetBrains say. That IT students come and they don't have GitHub account, and well, how can I compete with somebody like Brian who already did this stuff?
Well, I simply opened it this afternoon, and
Yeah.
I've done I don't know what to do with it.
That's fine. So let's do one thing. Let's find something you like, and then we'll go. So what are your hobbies? What do you like most?
Walking in the countryside.
Nature. Okay.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Oh, I know a job for you. Okay, nature and
conservation. Yeah, watching old films, old movies.
Okay.
Keeping up with current affairs.
Let's
drawing and sketching.
I need to admit one person. So
good.
Hi, Oro. So we already started, but you're welcome. But we are starting with Brian because, well, I don't have any like specific program set. I just think we'll see how it goes. Okay, if that's all right. So can you see my screen? So Brian said that he loves nature, as I understand, and walking.
Yes.
I love hiking. I can go for like, I don't know, 8 hours till my knees hurt. I actually on purpose, I leave tube stations sometimes earlier and just walk. Well, so nature. Let's see. Who does nature at scale in UK in terms of walking and stuff? That's National Trust, I think, right?
Yeah.
National Trust.
Yes, that's it.
I'm sorry, Nikita. Are you sharing your screen or not?
Yeah, I tried to, but
okay,
it didn't work, or?
No. We still can see you. Perfect. It's coming.
I just typed National Trust GitHub because our idea is that we have some understanding what Brian likes, and maybe it will change. But if you get the concept, then it's more or less easy, right? So I'm thinking if there are any. Well, what's that? National Trust. No, that's Ghana's investment bank. It's good, but it's not like this. We can. One company has something there, but that's not about walking as much.
May I ask Brian a question?
Yeah, of course, guys. Feel free to communicate.
What would you like to do in open source? Would you like to be a developer? Would you like to learn the technology and use it for some business needs, like improve some local IT, help local charity, church? What's your idea around open source?
I would like to learn the technology, yes, and I'm involved with a few local charities. So, yeah, to be able to put it to in a kind of public use to benefit people. Yeah. And,
I would say this will be an amazing start, and I have to admit that this is how I've got my hands dirty with open source. Obviously, I'm not a developer, but I love open source because of the freedom that if you want to learn new technology, you don't need to have like fat wallet full of bugs to pay for the license for something that you want to use only for a week just to learn, right? So with open source, especially if you are thinking about helping charities these days, and the thing that they struggle with the most are the kind of collaboration tools. And within open source, you've got a lot of solutions like Nextcloud, which can help people collaborate online, as well as you can use some software like Proxmox for virtualization and help them virtualize their environment. I'm not sure how comfortable you are feeling with it, but by doing those things, you will learn a lot, not only about open source, how open source work, how to submit issues, bug reports, and other things, but that will give you also a lot of knowledge how the internet works, how networking works, and how Linux works. So,
well, Marius, you're getting him afraid. So don't push off. It's not as frightening as Marius says. He just loves his stuff. You'll be like that in 2 years, but so basically what I did. So like on a side note, I have a friend, online friend. So she works. If I manage to find her contact details, she works for National Trust. The salaries are not big there, but they're allowed to work from any point in the world. So. But I tried to find their GitHub. I couldn't. Maybe they have. But what I managed to find, I found the National Geographic Society.
Mhm.
Because we don't, our goal is not to get you a job in, well, even in here. Our goal is like to find something you love and give you, which we did, and give you a way to contribute to it using open source. And then the next stage is like, actually it's the same stage, is to tell people about it. So I will put a link in the chat, but maybe there are better projects. Marius have mentioned a few. Maybe you can exchange contacts or something. But everyone in the meeting. So that's National Geographic. So let's go inside. So you can see my screen, right?
I guess, certainly.
So they have a lot of projects. So let's see one of them. Let's see something which is used. So, well, this one gets updated 8 days ago, 8 days ago. I'm looking for something interesting. Oof, that doesn't like, I'm trying to find something interesting from nature. G-tiles, what's that? No, that's too old. You see, this one probably doesn't suit us because Python. What's that? What do they say? What does it do? So I'm trying to understand what does this project do? Guys, come on, tell me what it does. Front-end applications. No, I don't think that's a very good project. We'll go to GitHub directly and we'll go to topics. They had topics there somewhere on the front page, I think. Here. Topics. Not here. How do you find repositories? Upgrade your projects. I'm trying to find, if I just type nature here, that won't be what I want, but I can probably type here nature or GitHub. Chinese nature, more stars, nature of code. Which other? Oh, maybe if you type hiking.
Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Sorry
you.
to interrupt, Nikita. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
I just didn't have the chance to speak until now. I was logging in and my internet wasn't too good. Let me present myself. My name is Oriol. I'm the sales development representative at SIS. I'm just here to learn, to be honest. I'm not a technical guy like the rest of my teammates. They're all engineers and I'm not. So I'm kind of trying to dabble a little bit into open source. SIS is basically an information retrieval company. They do everything from kind of any projects for people or also consulting. And they do everything with open source. So they're very open source, heavily based. And, I'm just here to learn and to see if you guys are talking anything interesting that I can learn.
Yeah, we are currently trying to find a project which will be related because Brian likes, he likes nature and walking and stuff.
All right, lovely.
We're trying to find something which, if already checked National Trust with no much luck. National Trust. Although these guys should be online. Now about nature. If you just go to topics. So because I found this one and it says something about travel guide to suggest activities you can do. Well, but this one, I just don't know how popular this thing is. Let's see. It's actually quite popular. Oh, that's interesting. So their main website is this one. I'll try to find the chat. And by the way, this stuff is getting recorded. So, and so it's something called Zero to Mastery. So it's some kind of a boot camp. And apparently they have an application there. They have start here guidelines and start. Let me see. So they have this one, but we were looking for this one initially. So they have a project called Travel Guide. And this Travel Guide we can, so we can install it locally. We can actually do it now. Let me think. Because first of all, we can contribute here. So I will put a link. So first we'll contribute and then we'll, it looks like a project which can work. Because it looks like something about travel. And it looks that there is a company which is probably alive in terms of, so they're doing something to do with education and courses and stuff. And if you actually look at their repositories, let's actually understand if they're alive or not. So we will do just last updated 3 minutes ago. So 3 minutes ago, 12,000 folks, basically copies of their source code. It means they're alive, because I don't want Brian to, to contribute somewhere which will never be used by other people, because, well, then people will not be that interested. But if we go to, what was this project? No, not Zero to Mastery. It's called Travel Guide. So I just want to find it here. Travel Guide. So it was updated last 10 days ago. It has 900 folks and it has 94 stars. So we go inside. During the reason to choose it was because it's related to travel. And second reason, the company is alive there. So it looks more or less alive. I'm sure there are better repositories to do with travel. So now let's do my favorite trick. So now let's first start it. It already means contribution. So somebody feels better now that you like their project, and I think it will be bookmarked. Now we click fork, and what it does, it will create a copy of. So they have this huge tree with the code, and now we have a copy of this tree, like exactly the same, but your own. So now if we change the code, the change will happen on our side. So now there are two separate copies. Like I'm just not sure, Brian, how familiar you are with Git. You might want to Google it on YouTube, but please don't select anything longer than 20 minutes. Just basically, it's a way to keep control of different versions of your code between developers.
Also, if I may interrupt,
yeah, sure.
If you Google for GitHub Learning, you will have very amazing interactive guide. And basically you will get assigned an issue. Yep, GitHub Lab.
Good. This is so good.
And introduction to GitHub, or yes, I would say introduction to GitHub will show you how hubbers at GitHub work with Git.
I see.
Yes, and by the way, Marius, he is from GitHub, if I remember correctly. He knows everything about it, and they're very supportive. So, well, just exchange details. So take a screenshot. He has his handle there, Foss Junkie.
That's right. That's correct.
So yeah, so I won't speculate on the origins of this nickname, but you can find him under this name.
It's very nice and easy, free and open source software, Junkie.
Oh, that's actually quite beautiful.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Free stuff, some of the best stuff. So now I want this stuff, but now I want it on my computer, right? So what I do, I go, I think, let me, how is it done? Because normally I'm looking for the clone button. Wait, is it here? Oh, I can just actually clone from my machine, I think. But if I go to here, oh, I opened the README, that's why. So currently I'm in my copy of a travel guide. When I copy this one, click this button, and I copy this one, you will learn it from tutorial. Basically, now I want this copy. This is a copy on GitHub website. So they have a website which has, so this project, when they say the main project has 912 folks, it means that on their website, they have 912 copies of this project by different people. It's a bit
See
more
that-
complicated, but yeah.
So each fork is where people have updated it
Yeah.
on their own version, their own kind of copy
They just made a copy
of the project.
Yeah, just made a copy. It's
Yeah.
not necessary. I am a fork junkie then, because I fork everything I can lay my hands on.
Okay.
Like that's how I got 115 like in a month. I've just been to a conference where a GitHub person spoke, Benjamin Mascala, I think, or Masala. Sorry, I just insulted his parents 3 times in a row. But he was speaking how normal people, ordinary people got into IT. Not ordinary, normal people, like somebody who didn't go to like university. Although I didn't learn much useful university in terms of this stuff. But yeah, so it has, so 900 people copied it. And but they copied it on their website itself. Well, let's call it website. But now I want this copy on my machine because I want to follow the instructions from a README file. Let me first check if I have npm, because that's something that's different. That's JavaScript, but I don't know it. I don't have JavaScript installed. So we'll leave it for the next time, the JavaScript stuff. But for today, we can just contribute. So let's open this README and see how we can contribute. So if whoever notices anything which is wrong, will get a virtual cookie. So that's interesting. The clone fork this repository. Well, oh, that's my favorite one. So normally they put dots after the bullet points. But here they didn't. That's not nice. You shouldn't behave
What do they normally put after the bullet points?
You see here, all the sentences, they finish with dot, period.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one, because people mess up here so often. But here, they didn't put a period there.
Oh, right.
That's naughty. That's naughty. So we click this pencil. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So now I just need to find, yeah. So it was this place. We are putting the period there. That's done. My contribution is done. Sorry, Marius. That's about how every of my contributions looks these days, because community will benefit more from me sharing this stuff than from me learning Go, with all respect to Go. So now, periods. Is it period or is it dot in British English?
Oh, full stop.
Full stop. Full stops.
Yeah.
So, okay. Is it one word? Has been added?
Well, it would be 2, full and
Full
stop.
and stop. Okay, cool. Thank you. So
That's it.
I already learned a lot. So now the concept of, so if you think just of my copy, so sometimes you want different versions of your code. For example, you have a website and you want to try to check how will it look with a red button, with a green button, and so on. So instead of modifying it, we have a concept called branches. So you just tell the code that show me this branch. It shows you branch with red button. Basically it replaces the source code on your machine. or selected rather. So basically you have folders with different versions of your website. And when you switch the branch, it will just open new folder, something like this, in a very simplified way. So basically, so I'm currently creating a new branch because I don't want, so there's like main branch, but making changes to main branch is a no-no because, well, you might want to have different versions. Basically, for each change, you want a branch, like to be put, because you can delete them, you can play with them. But if it becomes part of main branch of the trunk, it's very hard to clean it up later. Trust me, that's how you spend hours at night, and we don't want it.
Also, one thing worth to add in, bear in mind that there is so many developers contributing to the code, right? So that's why you create your own branch, so you can work on your part of the project, and then everything is being merged back to master or main. So main or master should represent the production code, really. And then all of your branches are the feature sets that you want to implement into the main, if that makes sense.
So who implements them into the main?
So that will be the repository maintainer, because he's got the power to merge your pull request to the main.
So you will see it now. Actually, basically, what it allows you, you can work on branch called, I don't know, add new button, and somebody will be using another branch to just release last version to the clients. So you won't intersect because sometimes it will be half baked. So your stuff is not ready yet, but they need to release to client tomorrow. So they will have like stable branch and tryout branches, and sometimes they will copy tryout branches to the stable one, something like this. There are different strategies. It's not complicated, but it is very funny how people can make it complicated. So now you have your trunk is basically the copy of what you had, and all the existing branches. You can see them here. But one branch is our branch. So we took their tree of code changes and we added our branch. And now we want to tell them that take a look at our branch. So for that, we go to travel guide and notice a button here. It says compare and pull request. So what it will do when we click it, it will tell that from our repository, from travel guide, sorry, I need to close this thing. From our branch, which has this change, we are telling them that we are telling the company that please accept the change. And they will have to decide. They will see it. It will pop up on their screens. It has been done as part of an amazing session with other friends. One second, I'll just put sound so they like. Okay. Nobody said I cannot put ads in the text. So because they will see it now. And now we create a pull request. So now it exists. So now if you go to their repository, you can see pull requests there. And now it's +1. They're closed ones, but what is more important, they are open ones. For us, it's more important. And we can see that ours is there. So for their company, they will see slightly different interface here. So when they open this one, they will see that I want to merge this change into their code. And they will have a button somewhere here to basically to merge it, and it will become then part of the main project, and the dot will appear there. And also here on my profile, this thing will go greener because they have this like it's days of the year, and you can see when London Java community gave me a free ticket, so it was somewhere here. And when I met the let me find him because I need to. This guy is amazing. I need to make him even more famous. Yeah, that's the guy. He's so amazing. So Marius, if you can say hi to him on a corporate email or something. So Benjamin Muscala, he's so good, and I will actually find the video now. And oh, actually, it's in our README. I will show it. It's in the README of our community. His session is there. Anyway, so now this thing went green for me. That's good. That's just nice to have. But what is more important is that these guys see this stuff, right? So now the task for Brian for this week will be to. You might take this project, or you might take any other project. Basically, just Google for something GitHub. So National Trust, Nature GitHub. I don't know which one. Nature Protection. Basically, or maybe even this one. To be honest, you can start with this one. It's as good as any. But the real task won't be that. The real task will be check Git. What Marius said, just a little bit, like half an hour. Check this page, make a fork from it, and that's all. And write an article about it. Because an article or some text, we can start from a short tweet if you have Twitter.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's already more than most of university students have done ever, if you include all of them. And even for software engineers, it's not everybody did it. So because your experience right now is extremely valuable, because people who just come to the IT, they will benefit more from your way of getting in than from me being here. So, like, I don't know much, to be honest. You will be amazed how much stuff I don't know. I just look that way. But you'll be amazed how more efficient your posts will be than mine for people who try to get into. Because you'll see things which might be complicated because you never touched it. Or you might select a better version of course, because I told YouTube, Marius said labgithub.com is in the chat. Well, you can try both and decide. So the idea is, don't write one huge article. Let's create a series of small ones, but like more or less daily. And if you put there my name, so my handle on Twitter is Nikita Kosalev. But remember, Twitter only lives like 10 minutes, because after 10 minutes, people don't see it. They see it, but like, well, it's not enough. But there's also LinkedIn, and there are websites like Dev2, for example. But let's start with Twitter. So, and if you do a little bit of coding, this is coding, but it's not like coding. If you do this stuff, then you'll have materials for a week, I believe. Even right, like from today, because it's recorded, I'll put it online, so it will be tomorrow. Actually, why don't you write an article? I will write an article, but write your own article about today. Write how was your experience, what you liked, what you didn't like, what Marius said, how people behaved very correctly when they entered, and like they told that they're a bit late, but well, they're listening, they checked the connections. Just share your experience. That will be better to do on this too. So there are many websites, but I would do it on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn doesn't pay for posts, but we are not there yet. So, and actually there was a person, oh, I need to find you that. She's so good. 1 second, LinkedIn. There's a person from Japan. She was champion. She's disabled. She had a brain surgery.
Right.
And she became Amazon champion because she went to check what is this cloud thing, and she found that existing tutorials are not very good for people who is not from IT background. And she created the she created tutorials and courses for people who don't have IT background, because a lot of stuff was unnecessary complex. Like there was no point at all. search. I'm just Googling quickly if I find her. No, not here. Japan. Oh, that's. Okay, I'll find probably her later, and I'm sure I tweeted about her. Let me actually check. If I check my tweets, if I check my tweets and replies, sorry, because she's so amazing, and I wanted to. And also there's a community called London Java Community. It's about, it's not about Java at all. It's just a community. So you are more than welcome to join us and give a 5-minute talk on this experience. Whenever you are ready, just let me know and we'll try together with me first, and then, because that's how I started. And it's all friends, like it's a very comfortable environment, and you'll be supported. I'm just trying to find, oh, that's Emma. Emma is brilliant, but we are looking for our.
So Nikita, are you proposing that I and write an article on LinkedIn?
Yeah. Yeah, write an article on LinkedIn, and from article we will actually cut out some posts for. Actually, let's write an article. Make a small one, like even a post, not an article, just a small one. We'll see how it goes. Maybe write one about today, and then tomorrow write another one about some other experience. So, for example, tomorrow you'll try to do this stuff, right? Or you tried today. You'll try this forking and stuff, and something will not work. Write about it. Something will work. Write about it. Write about your journey, because currently your journey is what matters. And because you will be posting, and when you are posting, we'll start putting the name of this company behind it and my name. So I will see that it mentions me, so it will be easier for me to, it will pop up like, and I will reshare it. So I have 1,600, I think, or 1,500. So people will see your post. And if you find this company, so it's called Zero to Mastery. Let's see.
Yeah.
If you go here and I create a post and I put that 0 to, yeah, they're here. So Zero to Mastery. I hope you don't mind that brand and other friends together with Brian and other friends. We made our first contribution to what was it? It was 1 second.
Travel guide.
Yeah, I want to give them the links to travel guide. So now it will pop out on their screens. Okay. And now I will write open source, and I will write community, and I will write bootcamp, although it's not actually what they do is bootcamp. So it will, but when if you send me your LinkedIn name, I'm not sure if you have LinkedIn.
No, I haven't.
So when you have, contact me, and I will modify it, and I will put your name there, like properly, so it is clickable.
Okay, so I'll open a LinkedIn account and write a short article on it.
Yeah, and send it to me then. Actually, here we will we'll do this way. We'll show them the pull request, not just. Yeah, write an article about your experience and like what the project is about, or whatever you want, because you might even just take a look at the README file and tell what you think, or like why did you choose this project, or or maybe you can write that it's not easy to choose, and if anybody knows any other nature-related projects that currently are working on this one, but you will appreciate if people came to you and because there are so many people in this world, somebody might come back and say that, there's this project about trees, or this project about pathfinding or something. So currently we're doing this. The travel guide. Now we post. Okay, and actually I posted in Java develop as well, that's fine. There's a group. But now the idea is that now we have posted this stuff, and now we will choose, we need to choose like 2-3 companies, 2-3 projects from different companies ideally, and contribute to them periodically and write small, really small pieces of text, but daily. If you check my posts here, it's not always like screen full. This one is 2 lines. This one is 2 lines. This one I just reshared, but it creates presence and it gives people possibility to see that I'm doing open source and I'm doing this stuff. That's I just took the picture from GitHub. If you go here and you go to profile, then there's this thing. So I just selected it and made it a background. Oh, that's not necessary at this point. So that's a lot of stuff to do, Brian, but we are here. So there's a Slack group. So feel free to ask questions. So like actually, we can even guide you like when you're doing first time. So maybe start with Git tutorial and actually start with this Git lab, which Marius said, and then write an article how you feel about GitLab.
Right. Okay.
And
An
that will
article
be
on
enough.
LinkedIn about GitHub.
Yes. Let's try to create as small steps as we can. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That
How
sounds
do
good.
how
That
do we
sounds-
eat an elephant? In small pieces. Well, the same. So it's easy.
Yeah.
So okay, guys. So time for questions. So and first I want to talk about like really wow, well done, Brian, because
No, thank you.
I know how stressful it is learning this stuff. I remember that. So.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, that's true. So if you, because a friend of mine, I will actually tell her about you. I'll try to find her contacts. She's doing coding for National Trust. They collect information from devices which are put all around National Trust area, and they record something. I think they record the birds or something like this. So, and you can live wherever you want in the world and stuff like that. Then they don't pay much, but it's a very interesting job. And when I say they don't pay much, it means that in like IT world, not then they still get, it's good for UK, it's good. So yeah, you'll be amazed how some things are so much easier than they look. Okay, guys, questions?
I have one.
Okay.
Nikita, what was your first contribution to open source?
My which one? My first?
Your first one.
Well, if we don't count my, that's all is like not true because that's my stuff I was doing. My first, I think I opened Gradle and I tried to make, let me think. Maybe it was one of the first, I don't remember exactly, but I was reading an article at Dev2. There's a website called Dev2. I was reading an article and the guy from who wrote this, basically I commented that, wow, good article. And the guy literally replied me and like, oh, do you want to like listen about to check out our project? So I checked out their project and I tried to make it run locally on my machine. And I found that the README file has some problems. I fixed that. And then I learned a lot how to make it run on my machine. And I wrote a few articles about that, and then I couldn't stop. And because when I was asked, like, what was, there's a book, it's also, if we go to our own website, right? Because guys, we have our own repository. We don't need to be that shy. Let me check, where is it? Is it overview? Oh, this one.
README, yeah.
Yeah, so this one. So if you go to the README, I'll put it in the, I'll put it in the chat. Okay. In the README, we have Benjamin Mascalo's code, but this book is good. It tells you how to find your real value. Not your real value, sorry, my English is how to find your love in love, and how to find the way to how to find a group of people who share the same stuff, and how to find a way to contribute to your cause, like together. So these guys, for example, we checked, they do something to do with travel. So there's intersection, so you contributed, now you make it visible. And when we have 3 projects like that, and then the whole industry will know that you're contributing. A lot of people related to travel and nature, they will know that Brian exists and Brian does stuff. They won't be, they will clearly understand that you are not a quantum engineer, neither am I, but they will know that you can write good articles and you love this stuff. And IT gets out of date so fast that you keep doing that for a few years, and you'll be much better off than somebody who graduated a uni with outdated knowledge already, and the person was not interested in the stuff he or she is doing, and more interested in, I don't know, beer consumption, while you were learning new ways and staying motivated. So that's unfair competition. But I'm not saying that all university students are like that, but it's better than university. I don't know how many years you need to learn and study at university now to start contributing to real projects. I think yesterday or the day before, I contributed to American Airlines open source project. How many years do I have to study in Oxford so I can contribute to American Airlines? I don't know. No idea. And I only modified some dots again, but and with time we'll find like a specific direction for your further development based on your like skills, not like based on your skills, because there are that many jobs in IT, only that much is developers. There's so many other jobs. So, well, something like this. I'm not saying it will be like a piece of cake, but well, it's. I think working in the field is harder. I used to pick strawberries in Kent, and that's hard. That's harder.
But also, as Nikita said, like there is so much space within documentation, like fixing grammar mistakes, or as Nikita said, if something is unclear to you, most likely it will be unclear for a lot of other people. So if you think that the documentation can be improved, that will be a massive improvement, because I have to admit that I spent a lot of time going through the documentation, and very often it's unclear or the documentation is outdated, and something that worked like 2 years ago, it's not working anymore today. So feel free to experiment, see the documentation, and create pull requests with any documentation updates.
Yeah, I couldn't say better. So, for example, so we already discussed that. So you go to the Git website, you don't have to love it. Even if it's boring, or if it's fun, or it's disgusting, whatever, write an article about it. Be positive. Like GitHub guys, you could use some improvement here. So like, oh, that one I didn't like, or that I liked. And well, sky's the limit, because they really need this feedback. They're ready to even pay. I mean, companies want to know why their products are bad and how they can be improved. And how many people in UK right now are thinking of contributing to GitHub? And
they need the input.
Yeah, they need this input. They need to see how people. We need so many people in IT these days. And well, your journey is important, and I will read it actually with interest, because for me this knowledge is important, because I will reuse it to help other people. So yeah, something like this. So I still haven't found this Japanese lady. She's amazing. I've just seen her post yesterday that she created a LinkedIn course based on her journey, in AWS, Amazon basically, and she earned $200,000 in 2 years just from the course. So I'm not saying we will do it, but it's just like a fairy tale. So a person after a brain surgery with problems in studying, she actually did something so useful as this course, and she inspires me. So yeah. Okay. Questions? I can keep talking till morning, guys. I'm trying to find the post in the meanwhile.
So, Brian, I have a question for you. Do you have an interest in any programming language, and would you like to learn?
I've done a course on my phone in Python. It was on an app called Mimo,
That's good.
M-I-M-O. I did that last year. It took me about, I don't know, 2 months. And I found that really accessible. It really kind of made it easy to understand. I mean, because I was aiming to do the Cisco course in Python, and but I have to admit I haven't. I've lacked the motivation, and yeah, and I find, I don't know, I find when it comes to something like Cisco, it seems to make assumptions that I have, that I have greater knowledge than I have, and
So you made very good decision. Cisco, I would say, has been oversold to people for way too many years. And basically the Cisco certification doesn't give you a lot of practical knowledge, right? And if you want to learn something, try to narrow it down instead of trying to learn Cisco and Python at the same time, which is like both concepts are a little bit overwhelming. Try to concentrate on one. So I think that you made a good decision. And I have to admit something, I'm learning Python as well. Because I do have experience with configuration management systems. I do have experience writing bash scripts, like in Linux, but Python, it was something that I was always wanted to learn, and I'm doing it at the moment. And I have to admit, I'm enjoying a book that was written for children. And basically the book, it's so cool because first of all, look how thin it is, right? And what you have, you've got learning programming with challenges. So Python by example, and it's just amazing. So it's written for kids, but instead of giving you way too many details about how functions work, how this works, they just show you how to do a function, how to make an if statement, and you just follow along. And basically every assignment gets slightly more complex, but you are building the knowledge on the previous exercises. So I have to admit that this book, it's amazing.
Yeah, could I buy that book online?
Absolutely, you can buy it on Amazon, eBay. Absolutely, yeah. I can send you on Slack the exact details and the link to the.
Okay, thanks, Marius.
So yeah, I will do it right now.
Great, yeah, because I just found the Cisco course in Python rather overwhelming.
Because again, I haven't looked at that course, but my assumption is that, as you said, they assume that you know Cisco and you know networking, and that course won't be about learning Cisco. It will be learning about Python, how to automate all of that stuff in Cisco, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, just concentrate on Python first. I would be happy to support you because I'm on the journey myself. So
Okay.
I might be a few steps ahead of you, but the situation can be changed in 2 months because yeah, you might be able to finish that book sooner than me.
Well, I mean, I'm not in I'm not in work, I'm not in employment. So, you know, in theory, I have the time and the peace and quiet to focus on it, the learning.
Good. And let us go how it knows. Oh, sorry. Let us know how it goes. Sorry. It's like 40 degrees in this Celsius in this room. So it's under the roof. So yeah. So that's it basically. So any more? Yeah.
I have another question, and that
Yeah,
will be
okay.
for Oriol.
Okay.
Company, because it sounds like very interesting. You did mention that you are using open source technologies and support in open source, which intrigued me a lot. So I would like to hear more if Oriol is around.
Maybe his microphone is not working. Oriol, you can type something as well. But
So Oriol's microphone appears to be switched off.
yeah, maybe.
Yes.
But, yeah,
Oh well.
but
Next time.
Or you can write in Slack to Marius Oriol. Because sorry, today it was too exciting. So well.
There's
Okay,
so much wonderful stuff here.
I have to admit, Nikita, that I was very, very impressed, because it's not easy to present so many information to a new person who just created an account on GitHub. So well done.
Just he did create an account. That's a lot. Took me years. So he's already better than me here. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's why I'm doing that. I love helping people. So then they start helping others around them. And maybe like, I don't know, maybe Brian's neighbors, they don't have money to send child to college, but they can say that, oh, you can do open source. So why not? Why not to become a doctor by doing open source, by doing some open source for something medicine related? Why not? So yeah, you can check out this person, Hiroko Nishimura. She is the one with the. I added the link on her Twitter and an Amazon account, and actually I will add it to our README file right now. And our inspirational heroes. Heroes. I will change the name later, but it will be Hiroko Nishimura. She's, I think she's an AWS community champion or something like this. AWS community hero, yeah. Because yeah. And her handle was this one. And she actually has a GitHub account as well. GitHub will be, it becomes hard to think. Hiroko Nishimura, she must have GitHub. If I go to LinkedIn, then maybe here I can, no, not this one. Not this one. Oh, maybe it will be the same. GitHub, Hiroko Nishimura. Yeah, that's the one. It looks suspiciously empty, but I think her work is mostly in
private repo.
No, it's not. Yeah, it might be also in private, but she does a lot on the LinkedIn education. So yeah, but I cannot recommend education because I don't like courses because courses make you concentrate on things which you might not need, and they will skip things which you need. So I don't think that any course in this world will teach you to do this contribution to the travel website, but you can create it for yourself in your head and with friends who know some stuff. At least we know some directions, and what we don't know, we'll ask together, and we have some network, and they will come and tell. We'll just put Hiroka here. Thank you, Hiroka, for inspiring new generations of contributors to be. Okay, something like this, and then we can add. I will just type that.
And I will definitely check out the open source effect by Benjamin book.
Oh, it is so good. This video is so good. The open source is very good, and this
sorry, yes, it's a video. Yeah,
the videos, yeah, and the second one, it's also good. The ticket to this conference costed more than £1,000 for 2 or 3 days, I think. But videos are online and they're free. And this one, I like this guy, Kevin Henney. So basically, what he says is that when you cannot go fast enough to do something, you need to slow down. Basically, he teaches to slow down and do more. It's not as easy. You need to watch the video, but it's amazing. And so it's like
it's along the lines that slow it's fast and fast it's slow.
So yeah, so basically his example is that if I give you a Ferrari or some car to go, and so can you go to your shop faster now? Yes, but there's one trick. I removed something which slows it down. I removed the brakes. So can you drive to Manchester now with no brakes on Ferrari? Probably you will say no, thank you. I will walk, because Ferrari with no brakes, it's actually not very fast, because it's just till the next turn the road. So as our first hero. Amazing. That's my repository, so I can do whatever, like not whatever, but you can. That's a feature. Like I'm creating, even like in my own repository, I'm creating a branch. So I might decide to merge it later, but to be honest, I will just do it now. Merge. Done. And now if you go to Together with Open Source, we go to README, we should be able to see Hiroka. Yeah. I will modify, I'll fix that stuff, don't you worry. It's not really nice yet, but I'll fix it. It would be nice to have it on her link so I can click and go directly there, but we'll fix it. Actually, I can fix it now. If I go.
And also, Brian, for you, all of the magic that Nikita is doing at the moment, he's using processing language, if you like, called Markdown. And that's the kind of formatting. So as you can see now that Nikita is creating URL links, so he's got some square brackets and open brackets. So this language is called Markdown. And again, there is one great guide on the lab.github.com, how to communicate with Markdown, which I also highly recommend. Because yes, so when you will be doing any updates, contributions to documentation, the chances of using Markdown are, I would say, 90%. So if you want to learn with some kind of language, formatting language, Markdown is the one to go.
My approach to this thing is that, well, I just take a look at what the others did before me, and I do something similar. So I just learned that it's a Markdown language. Now I know why it is MD. I have been using it for like 3 years, I think. So well, call it Markdown language. So the file itself has a .md in the name.
Correct.
So now I know. Now I know. But I was and I actually can show you a small Christmas miracle. Just I'll show. I'll do this thing, and I will merge. I know my comment is not optimal, but well, I'm a bit tight and stuff. So if you go to Together with Open Source, and we check pull requests, and we check closed, there will be this one and this person. This guy who contributed to our project, to the project which we created, it's not actually Andy, I think, is using they and their how to call it, is it pronoun in English?
Yes.
So but I think Andy is a staff developer advocate. If I might be wrong, but staff developer advocate for Twitter. And that's like, it's as high as you can go. I mean, if I reach something in my life, it will be. And Andy now knows me, and I know Andy. And you'll be amazed. Well, how else am I expected to meet such a intelligent and kind person? I don't have money to live in the same neighborhood.
And that's the beauty of open source. You will be surrounded with a lot of clever people, and they will have like very positive influence on you.
And the number of views on my profile. So before it was like 20 per 3 months, and today it was 960. And I only visited conference, I think, in May. And I had like the companies who didn't reply to my resumes before that actually came to me in bulk. And they're good companies. Well, it's not advertisement. I'm just saying that, well, you become visible. So the only problem is recruiters, Brian. Sorry, they will see you too. But we'll protect you. Together we'll stand against some of recruiters. Not all of them are nice, but some of them are quite nice. Anyway, and I just thought, actually, if you keep doing that, what if we can use in our networks, especially given your articles, to find you a volunteer position in something like National Trust in their IT, advocating for National Trust or something like this. That would be nice. You don't have to know everything about them. It's okay to know something about their projects and to be able to demo it to developers and people. How many developer advocates in National Trust have you seen? I haven't seen many. So, and they would definitely benefit from it. And it's not like a promise in stone, but it's a possibility. And now it's bigger than zero.
Oh, and of course, there are other organizations like the Field Studies Council, which are really hands-on with kind of learning about biodiversity and, and recording actual species, so really nice. Hands-on, and they could probably do with some IT support.
Yeah, do you know them? Because if you could organize, if you could send me their details, we could probably even organize a meetup with them on like London Java community. It would be nice to have like to listen what they do.
Well, I'm doing some courses, one-day courses with them to learn about species like ants and bees and harvestmen.
Can you talk to them and check if they're fine of talking about this stuff? Actually, they can talk to our meetup. Why don't they come and talk about this stuff? We will get it recorded, and then we'll see, maybe like, ask them if they're interested. Let's see. Why not have a nature day? I understand we're about, because it's all about community. Computers come like, not even second. People come first, people in nature and this stuff. So if they want to talk about butterflies, I'm all for it. If somebody doesn't come, then well, I hope people will come, but at least it will be 3 of us, and maybe Marius will come, and maybe Orel, and maybe we'll have 20 people, and then we'll become a butterfly club, like open source butterflies, something like this. And I'm not joking. Like if it works, if it attracts people to open source, then why not? Okay, guys, I need to run for my other commitments. But it was amazing, and Oriel, sorry that you didn't have a chance today, but maybe next time or just contact me directly.
That's right. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the meetup today. So I have to admit that this is the first ever meetup I ever attended, and I did enjoy it. So it was a pleasure to meet you, Nikita, and you, Brian. I'm genuinely curious about your progression, Brian, and I would like to see you succeed in your open source journey.
Yes, that would be nice. I actually know one of my friends in MasterCard. He is really into nature, like really, and he can draw, and he does butterflies and stuff. So I think you could speak for hours with him. I'll tell him about you.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
This has been absolutely, it's been mind blowing. I've thought so, it's been so inspirational. Listening to you, both of you, but Nikita, you have been marvelous.
Thank you.
And I'll endeavour to, produce an article and get on LinkedIn and start my journey on GitHub.
Yeah. And if you need me to take a look at your first articles or something, just drop a note, okay? I'll be on vacation, but that's fine. I do open sources, but it's part of my life now, like breathing. But okay, guys, now I have to go. But well done, amazing, Brian. I'm so proud of you. Like really.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, Marius, wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you so much for you being so encouraging.
Okay, thank you, Brian. That's what I'm here for.